Hey there, Andrew. It is Jay here at Rorick Mazda. Just wanted to thank you again for taking an opportunity to allow us to help on your vehicle search. I figured this might be a bit beneficial to you. So the two vehicles that you had originally requested on our website, those have recently sold. We're fortunate at Rorick that we have a 3-day return policy, so in many cases, our sites typically will not update for about 3 to 4 days after a vehicle is purchased, as that return policy is still valid. So unfortunately, both vehicles that you had sent over have sold, but the good news is the two that I have left are pretty much identical. One being a carbon and this one here in front of me also being a gray preferred. The main difference is this gray preferred has a lighter interior, but I'm going to go over the differences because personally, when comparing the preferred to the carbon, I truly believe the carbon is a slightly better value. And the only reason being is it is only about a $900 difference between preferred to carbon, and you pick up real leather seats versus a leatherette, which I'll get into in a second, as well as you pick up a sunroof, which the 2023 preferreds would not have a sunroof. But more importantly, the carbon trim level has an APR rate that is 1% less than the APR special on the preferred. So in the end, even though it's a $900 more expensive vehicle, it actually comes out to be like $1 less on the monthly payment because of the APR rate. But both vehicles, are going to be based on essentially the same exact vehicle. So with the preferred starting in front of me, I always point out headlights are going to be full LED, much like you're probably used to in your 2020 Outback. This front emblem is fake, and then the camera up on the windshield. So all of your safety features that are very similar to Subaru's EyeSight are going to be standard. Adaptive cruise control, stop and go traffic driving, lane keeping assist with active steer, backup camera with cross alert, high beams that can turn on and off by themselves, blind spot monitoring system, collision warning systems with auto brake with pedestrian and cyclist detection, and more. Now, all vehicles will also have connected services. This is an app that you would download on your cell phone, and it will allow you to remote start the car or lock or unlock the car from your phone. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto will be standard. Obviously, all-wheel drive, which is very interesting because Mazda's iActive all-wheel drive actually ranked out higher in inclement weather driving than even Subaru's symmetrical setup. Obviously, dual exhaust pipes because this is a larger 2.5 engine with a standard automatic transmission. Mazda has always kind of been about performance. And even from a design cue, they are really trying to go up market. For instance, every light on the exterior, from tail lights to reverse lights to license plate lamps to interior lights to headlights, everything is LED. Now, this particular vehicle, I don't have the keys for, unfortunately, but just kind of giving you a look through the window. Obviously, a very unique style dash. Mazda kind of goes in that very German engineering where the screen, as you can see, is very high up on the dash, and everything is controlled with that joystick-like system behind the gear shifter. Now, the interior will also have heated seats. You'll have dual climate system, memory seats for the driver, and then you may be able to see that this interior is a lighter. They call it grayish. And I think a lot of it is the designers couldn't decide if they wanted beige or grayish interior, so they just kind of did both. And I will say it's quite nice in my opinion, because though in some of our other vehicle lines we have a parchment interior, which is nice, parchment is basically a broad term for its white interior, where this is a little bit more on like a warm gray. So I think from a wear standpoint, it would wear a lot better than, say, if it was a white interior. Now, on to the carbon-wise, actually, we'll go over here to this one. I believe this one is a loaner. Actually, my personal demo right now is a carbon CX-30, so maybe I'll just walk you down to that one really quick here. But just kind of showing you the carbon, I feel bad this one is pretty dirty because it's one of our fleet vehicles, but this will show you here the color of the carbon. It is a special paint color called polymetal, and then you do have all the black accents, so you might not be able to see through all the salt. The wheels are the same wheels as the preferred, though they're just blacked out. You will also have the blacked out mirror caps. Now, one of the big things you'll see that, as I mentioned, the carbon trim level does add a sunroof, and then you will go to a real leather seating that also has a red interior color. So I'm gonna check this one. Actually, here's a carbon right here, so that way you can see exactly what it looks like, sans the salt, because now that you can actually see, it is polymetal gray and the wheels and everything are black. I'm hoping this has a key box attached to it. If it does not, actually it's unlocked, and that's all that matters. So this is what the interior is going to look like. It's kind of a love or hate it. Personally, I'm in love with it, and that's why I drive this exact vehicle as my personal demo, is I think the seats really make it pop because it's kind of like a dark red, but more importantly, the interior gets upgraded because you'll see that you have some red stitching along the door. They do the red stitching up across the dash, up across the center console, in the middle of the armrest. So it just kind of does a little bit of a tasteful accent to kind of tie everything together. But I hope this information helps kind of just go over some brief differences among the two. I really appreciate the opportunity and look forward to hearing back, Andrew. Thank you again.